everybody, it's Eva here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a brand new Sims 4 speed build. And in today's video, you'll be watching me build a British manor, because ever since I built my Bridgerton-inspired build, and pretty much like ever since I watched Bridgerton, I've been really inspired by all these like beautiful like British country estates and beautiful villas and manors. And yeah, I felt really inspired to create something a little bit different to the Bridgerton house or Bridgerton-inspired house that I built. So I decided to go for this countryside estate with some beautiful bay windows coming out. Like the shape is very asymmetrical and very organic in a way. It's not a very symmetrical build like the other one was, but still really elegant and really luxurious and a lovely place to be if you're ever out in the British countryside. And I decided to go for a very red brick, just because I wanted the red brick to stand out from all the greenery of Henford-on-Bagley, because we were once again building in Henford-on-Bagley, on my favourite lot in this entire world. And I decided to create a different terrain look than I usually do, but in Britain it's very common to have these fences surrounding like raised terrain, and then you have like a manor or estate on top. So I wanted to have those like real life influences in this build as well, and I raised up the terrain and then placed some debug brick walls around the lot, so around the house, together with a lot of greenery and flowers and bushes, etc., which are very well maintained and very well curated as well. And for example, the lawn, I decided to go for this like typical two shaded green grass that looks like it's been perfectly mowed. And then there's also a driveway that's on the side of the lot where you can like enter, and that leads to the side of the build where the front door is. And yeah, like I said, that's like a very common thing to have these elevated situations, and brick walls in general I think are very British. And in general, the house is, like I said, a bit more romantic, a bit more asymmetrical, and like a little bit wild in a way. And I wanted to reflect that also with some overgrowing wisteria and ivy at the front, especially because I really love the look of like overgrown houses, and it just adds such a cute and romantic touch to a house instantly. And I also again did use some wisteria for the bay window situation, and then also like ivy again climbing up to the roof and the chimney even. So this house is like partly very much covered in greenery, and also on the side of the lot there's a lot of trees and bushes. So it is supposed to be a country estate somewhere that is surrounded by maybe a forest or something similar. And the house itself, I went for some Georgian windows from the Georgian set by Felix, because I love those windows and they just scream British to me in some way. Like British houses often have these Georgian windows, and it's just so dreamy and adds to the romantic vibe as well. And then, like I said, there's the garden like that's facing the front of the lot that I decorated towards the end of the video, because I always do the interiors first and then the exterior. I did parts of the exterior in this. It was like a bit of a mishmash here. I did the front door area and everything, but not the main garden. I kept that for after I'd done the interior, just so I knew like what the vibe of the interior was and I could match that a little bit with the exterior. But speaking of the interior, let's move into the interior, because I am obsessed with how this interior turned out. I'm genuinely so proud and I'm loving it so much. I'm obsessed. Again, just obsessed. I used a flooring, which is a herringbone flooring by Peacemaker, and it comes in this beautiful like a dark brown swatch. There's lots of other swatches, but that one just really appealed to me. And I have a thing for like really dark brown woods combined with white and black. I really love that combination. So I thought I'd go full swing ahead with that color scheme, and that flooring just, I don't know, that flooring is really gorgeous. It's not like Ultra Max's match, but maybe that's why it's so appealing to me. I don't know, like it gives like enough texture to the floor without like pulling your attention to it, which I really like about this. And it's more of like a smaller scale herringbone pattern, and combined with the wall paneling, which is from the Octave set by Harry, it's such a mood. It's such a mood. Like just that living room is giving me all the vibes. I loved furnishing that living room to bits. I've been really loving like this combination of traditional features of a house with a rather modern interior, because I'm all for modern interiors. So I really hope you'll like how this build turns out, and like how it generally like, I hope you like this build in general, that's what I'm trying to say. And if you are, then please do me a favor and like this video, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And always makes me happy to see so many of you being so kind in the comments as well. It's just, it makes my heart very, very happy. And yeah, stop waffling either. Let's move on. Obviously I had to include lots of fireplaces in this build, again because fireplaces just are really common, even if they're not always functional. In some of those like older houses and manors especially, they do have intact fireplaces, which is really cool. And I really think a fireplace is such a interesting point in a living room, rather than having the TV, which I mean lots of people just face their furniture around the TV. I like facing my furniture around fireplaces or other bits and bobs to create like an interesting structure. I really don't like placing TVs, I've noticed this. Just for aesthetic vibes, I just love a fireplace. And I did use the slouch sofa by Charlie Pancakes, which is one of my favorite sofas ever. And it's like so grand and like big that it creates a really cool feature point in a room, especially in a big room like this one. I didn't want the sofa to be lost in this huge room, because all the rooms have really tall ceilings. They're very, very big rooms. The bay windows obviously add like a really cool dimension to the rooms as well. And I wanted to do that justice, like do the architecture of this build justice with the interior. But yeah, so the style that I went for was this like mix of elegant, homely, and traditional in a way, at the same time quite artsy, because I did use a lot of artwork on the walls everywhere, to not only like have the walls not be as bland as like white walls usually are in The Sims, but also to like highlight that the family who live here probably have very good taste in art, and you can find like a very similar pattern of art prints and artwork all around the house to create some kind of coherence between all the rooms. And I used some beautiful open doors to connect like most of the rooms, especially downstairs between like the living room and the kitchen, and the corridor and everything. I used these beautiful doors by Felix. I believe they're also from the Colonial set. Really, really love those doors, and they just match this whole vibe really well, and it makes the whole house feel really cohesive if you have those like open doors that just lead from one room to the next, or even just lead your gaze from one room to the next. I really love that. And I did in the kitchen create like such a pretty kitchen. I really, really love this kitchen to bits. Again, it's a really cool layout, similar to like last week's. The layout is very different to like the typical kitchen layouts, where you just plonk counters and then an island. I went for a really cool layout here by using the wall next to the door for the fridge and cupboards and like oven, and then there's another wall where we have all the counters, cabinets and shelves, and then a little like L-shape peninsula. It's not like a proper peninsula with bar stools or anything, because I didn't want people to sit at that. I did create a little special breakfast nook on the other side of that room to like separate the two areas a little bit. And the color scheme that I went for is just to die for. I'm so obsessed with it. It's like this cream color that I used for the fridge and the cupboards. So those are from the brownstone set by Harry, which is among my favorite kitchen sets ever. I love those so much. They're so aesthetic and so pretty, and there's so much variation in like swatches and everything. So I did use the cupboards and stuff in a cream, and then I went for like a dark brown with the counters to kind of like put a little bit of a contrast in, not make everything like matchy and perfect, and pull through with the whole dark brown wood that kind of goes throughout the entire house. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this kitchen. I love creating kitchens so much. I love like cluttering those kitchens up and like making them feel somewhat realistic and homely, and kitchens to me are like the heart of the house, which is why I like put a lot of time and thought into the kitchen at all times. And it's like a big long room where we have another bay window situation, but not like a huge bay window. And that's where I decided to place is the dining room. For that, I had another like really cool layout in mind, with some of those open doors by Felix, and then another fireplace moment, again with lots of art and beautiful lighting fixtures on the walls, and then the dining table and chairs, which are both from Pierre Sim, I believe from the cold brew set, and then I used the Precious Promises pack by Charlie Pancakes and Pierre Sim, because that comes with such beautiful dining table items, like the tablecloth, which is just a dream, and I've been placing it on every single table I've ever used in any of my builds recently. It's just such a pretty like detail, and I love detail, so it just instantly elevates the look of the dining room, and it doesn't feel like as bland in a way as it often can be in The Sims, because you know, in real life you have a tablecloth on your table, and it's it's really common to have that. So I really love that touch, and adding that touch it's like, yeah, I find it really special, and I love looking at that room. There is a little mudroom slash like entrance room where the front door is, with like lots of little wellies, which are from the Organic pack by Felix and Harry. I love placing those whenever I build in Henford, because it just fully embraces the country lifestyle, and no house in Henford-on-Bagley is ever complete without those. And then the bedroom, again, is one of like my favorite rooms of this build, just because the whole size and layout of this room is so pretty, with the huge Georgian windows, that bay window situation, another fireplace obviously, and then that big art print wall where I placed the bed in front of. I mean, like I said, I did use a lot of artwork throughout the entire house, but here it's like literally like the feature wall. It's not just to make the walls look less empty, it's also like the wow effect when you walk into this room where the bed is. And the bed is by my Shuno-san, with the duvet being from Felixander's Berlin set. I love that bedding so much, and I'm overusing it, I know, but I love it. I really love it. And that room also has a walk-in closet, so that is attached to that room, and you can literally just walk straight through, for which I used the Lavish set by Charlie Pancakes, which is my all-time favorite pack ever for creating walk-in wardrobes. I always hated creating walk-in closets, like before I had this pack available, and it was always such a pain to create them. Like, I would not enjoy it at all, and I'm like looking forward to creating a cute little walk-in wardrobe. But yeah, and then on the other side there's a straight walk through to the bathroom. So that bathroom is accessible from the corridor as well as the main bedroom, and it's also the only like big bathroom. There's only a small bathroom downstairs, but this is like the main bathroom. If anybody's wondering, the reason why I don't do more than like one main bathroom is I get so bored of doing the same type of room over and over. Like, I don't like creating 3 bathrooms that all look the same, because it's just boring. It's just really boring. So I'd rather just do one really nice one and like spare me and you having to watch the same and do the same thing all over again. So yeah, that's why it's only one main bathroom upstairs, with 2 bedrooms. So there's a main bedroom and a kids bedroom, which you'll see in a sec as well. But yeah, in that bathroom I went for a really traditional tiling moment, and again the wall paneling that I used throughout the entire building. I really love like combining those and not going for tiles on the walls in the bathroom sometimes, because it looks really elegant and really like classy, very like Parisian and like London. So that was perfect for this build as well, and it kind of pulled through a little bit more of the traditional features of this house, because even though it's like a very traditional and old-fashioned building from the outside, and like in terms of flooring and the walls, my furnishings are like a mixture of, and mostly modern, because that's just my style to furnish. And yeah, in the bathroom it's a little bit more traditional, especially with the bathtub. That's like a very traditional freestanding old-fashioned bathtub. And then in general I used a lot of bathroom fixtures from the Oak House by Pierre Sim. The sinks, for example, I've never really used those sinks before, but they're really gorgeous, and yeah, I just vibed with the overall concept of this room. And then there's also like this beautiful open walk-in shower. I'm literally obsessed with doing walk-in showers so much, even though they're probably not the most practical, but aesthetic wise they are my favorite. And the divider by Oak House that I always use, this glass divider, is just a dream. I definitely need more dividers for showers though. Like in a way I'm repeating myself very often, but no, I just love this look so much. And then like I said, there's a kids room. So in that kids room I went for a little bit of a different color, went for the green, like a really muted like olive slash dark green, which was like heavily inspired by the wallpaper that I used, which is from the Tiny Traveler set by Felix and Harry, with like a jungle vibe, but I didn't want to like fully pull through on the jungle vibe, kind of like keep it here and there, but not like make it too themed. And I also combined it with a backsplash from the Florence set by Felix, to kind of like cover the bottom part of the wallpaper and make this, because it's a very big room, make this very big room rather like homely. And then I used a bed from the small set by Charlie Pancakes, which is super cute with that wooden frame. And then other than that, the last thing that I did was furnish the garden, and created like a couple nooks and areas in the garden for some sun loungers. And then there's a alfresco dining setup as well, which is super dreamy because there's a huge tree that's like hanging over that side of the garden, and I added some fairy lights that come with the debug from Cottage Living, and they just instantly like make it cute and boho. Like that just looks so adorable out there. Like imagine just late night summer dinners out there with those beautiful fairy lights on the tree. And it's like a really romantic setup again as well with that area. But overall, like I wanted the garden to feel like rather organized and not too like crammed or cluttered or anything. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, then leave a like and subscribe. And as always, following the speed build portion of this video, there will be a tour so you can see the rooms and the entire build like from its best perspectives, and I really hope you'll enjoy watching that as well. I really appreciate every single one who sticks right until the end. That means so much to me. But yeah, like I said, I hope you'll enjoy, and I can't wait to see you again next week with a brand new Sims 4 speed build. Bye!